Hello, my name is Erica Tankis, and for this video reflection and analysis assignment, I will be discussing these four prompts. Now, the first prompt is based on my understanding of Hertzberg's two-factor theory of job satisfaction. What types of incentives or employee programs would be most likely to reduce job satisfaction or increase job satisfaction? Now my answer to the first prompt would be focusing on hygiene factors would be most likely to reduce job satisfaction. As hygiene factors are extrinsic to work and they don't motivate employees, but instead cause dissatisfaction thanks to absence. And examples of such would include salary and benefits, a positive, secure work environment, clear and equitable company policies, and effective, respectful supervision and vision. And providing them can help to prevent dissatisfaction, but it won't lead to true job satisfaction because true job satisfaction is related to increasing job satisfaction, which happens when you focus on motivator factors. Now, motivator factors are intrinsic to to work, and the motivator factors are what truly motivate the employees and increase job satisfaction. Examples include giving employees more responsibility, providing them with opportunities with achievement opportunities and personal growth, as well as a chance to advance. And another example would be to provide them with regular recognition for doing good work or a good job. And thus, doing all that can fulfill an employee's higher level needs and make that employee feel fulfilled and engaged in whatever it is they're doing, their work, their job. Now, for the second prompt, I have to compare McClelland's acquired needs theory and its emphasis on needs being shaped by experience and cultural background over time to Maslow's hierarchy of needs and the ERG theory, E theory. And then I'm to say, of these three theories, which do I think would provide the most useful and realistic explanation for human development and motivation, and why I think that way? Well, McClelland's acquired needs theory involves a need for achievement, power, and affiliation, and how that need for achievement, power, and affiliation are learned over time, throughout time, and as well as through life experiences and through culture. It doesn't have its structure involves an individual's dominant need, one's dominant need, and that dominant need can vary and can be shaped by one's environment. And McClelland's acquired needs theory puts an emphasis on how needs aren't universal, but needs can be developed or changed. Maslow's hierarchy of needs involves humans having a fixed set of needs and with that fixed set of needs being arranged into a 5-level hierarchy, that goes from basic psychological needs to self-actualization. And it has a structure that says needs must be satisfied. In order to satisfy those needs, you need to satisfy those needs in a sequential order from the bottom up. That goes from the bottom up, but higher levels can't be motivators until the lower levels are met, meaning that the only way for a higher level to be a motivator is you have to meet the lower level needs first. And it puts an emphasis on a high need for achievement, and it puts emphasis on proposing a universal innate order of needs that everybody should follow as a developmental progression. Now, the ERG theory, which is by Alderfer's ERG theory, is a modified version of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. As unlike Maslow's hierarchy of needs, Alderfer's ERG theory simplifies needs into just 3 categories, with those 3 categories being existence, relatedness, and growth, in which the first initial of those 3 things make ERG as an ERG theory. E for existence, R for relatedness, and G for growth. Now, the structure of the ERG theory isn't strictly hierarchical, and a person could just pursue multiple needs all at once. But if a higher level need is like frustrated or getting to be frustrated, they might have to go down to a lower level need and focus on that lower level need before they can get back to that higher level need. And now the ERG theory puts an emphasis. ERG theory, in addition to being more flexible than Maslow's hierarchy of needs, acknowledges needs. The ERG theory puts an emphasis on acknowledgement of how people can be motivated by relatedness, social needness, and social needs, even if their growth needs aren't fulfilled yet, are unfulfilled, or not fulfilled yet. Now, out of these 3, I would say the McClelland's acquired needs theory would do the best job at providing the most useful and realistic explanation for human development and for motivation. Unlike Maslow's theory, which is rigid, is rigid and doesn't always reflect reality, and also unlike the ERG theory, which doesn't directly address how needs are shaped by personal cultural context, the way McClelland does a great job at. Now for the third prompt number 3, I have to assume that I'm the manager of an auto dealership and all my salespeople, employees are achieving the goals they have set for themselves in terms of weekly car sales. And so on the surface, which on the surface would seem like a good thing. However, what could be the problem? I have to wonder there might be a problem, and what could be the problem with this? Employees meeting goals is usually a good thing, but employees meeting goals can also have problems such as goals being too easy for employees to achieve without fail. I'll fail because those goals aren't challenging enough to stretch employees or to encourage employees' peak performance. And issues with with such a situation as this if not include the lack of motivation and growth due to the goals being much too easy to achieve without fail, stagnant performance, as employees may simply do the minimum that is required for meeting their quota or status quota without trying to exceed that quota. No differentiation, little to no differentiation of performance, and when there's little to no differentiation in performance, it is impossible to distinguish top performers from average performers, which makes it difficult to reward high achievers and to identify which employee deserves a promotion, which employee deserves leadership opportunities, which employee doesn't deserve a promotion or a leadership opportunity. And on the surface, everybody seems to be performing equally, like at an equal level, an equal rate. And another issue would be ineffective goal setting. Due to the goal setting process, as in the current goal setting process being flawed, having flaws, and to fix that, the goal should be a SMART goal. S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for relevant, and T for time-bound. E for time-bound. We want the goal. The goals should be achievable, but they shouldn't be stretch goals. Just stretch goals, but they shouldn't be stretch goals. Now, that's goals. That's goals, and making the goals a SMART goal. Our goal is a good idea to help ensure that the goals won't be much too easy to achieve without fail anymore. Now, for the fourth and final prompt, I have to say, to what extent are perceptions of procedural justice versus distributive justice a matter of perception? How could managers reduce inaccurate perceptions of workplace inequities? Perceptions of both procedural and distributive justice are a matter of perception. Nonetheless, procedural and distributive justice have their differences. Procedural justice is the perception of fairness regarding to the process used to make used for decision making, the decision-making process. And this includes whether or not the procedures are consistent, transparent, unbiased, and allow for employee input, whereas distributive justice is a perception of fairness regarding the outcomes of decisions, such as decisions or decision making. Now, managers can as for inaccurate perceptions of workplace inequities and how to reduce those inaccurate perceptions of workplace inequities, or rather how a manager or managers can reduce inaccurate perceptions of workplace inequities, they can do so by focusing on two key areas. The first one being to increase transparency. And managers can increase transparency by being open and honest about how decisions are made and clearly communicating the criteria for pay raises, promotions, performance evaluations, etc. And doing so, being transparent and increasing transparency can help build trust and ensure employees understand that the process isn't arbitrary or biased, neither arbitrary nor biased. Now, the second A second key area is ensuring fair procedures, and managers can ensure fair procedures by creating and consistently following those fair procedures, such as providing opportunities for employee input and feedback before making decisions, and making sure that. And another example of ensuring fair procedures, as in aiding, ensuring, and consistently following fair procedures is by ensuring that rules are applied consistently to every employee, and offering a mechanism for employees to appeal to a decision. And also by ensuring fair procedures, managers can help employees to feel that even if the outcome isn't what the employee expected or hoped for, or what matters is that the employee is treated with dignity and respect, especially by the manager and by coworkers.